I thought about selling the house just to get out of debt.
Well, when I think about owing money, I actually start to feel ill.
I've cried because of the frustration of it.
I'm very good at spending money. I'm not very good at saving money.
And now with a baby coming, to think, oh my God, where am I gonna get $10 to buy diapers? Where am I gonna get $15 to buy formula? I don't wanna be in that position anymore.
Money, 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 money.
I'm currently working as a security support advisor.
I'm a mechanic, millwright, and a fabricator.
I currently make around $60,000, and Alister is around $35,000 to $40,000.
You know she makes more than me, but I don't know, honestly, because we have actually separate bank accounts.
I realized that money was tight, but then I still wanted to live the way that I had lived prior to buying the house. And I was using my credit cards to buy my food.
If somebody was knocking on my door saying they were going to take my truck or our house, then I'd feel desperate.
Our combined debt load is roughly around $110,000.
I just can't deal with it.
My fear is that we will continue to live in denial, continue to be depressed. I just don't even know how to deal with it anymore.
This month, I'll help this couple move from red to black. I've been solving money problems for over 20 years, tackling everything from high finance to low income. I help people understand money and debt, which is still a huge mystery for most folks. And it's the #1 reason couples split up. So now I'm making house calls. Since buying their first home, Alister and Fiona have been struggling to make ends meet. But it hasn't stopped them from shopping. They're burying themselves in credit card debt. Now with their first baby on the way, they're not sure they can afford it. I'm here to show them that they can. I'm Vaz-oxlade.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I like to start every visit by having a quick look around. It helps me to see where the money's going. Here's a room that needs a lot of work. They heat this house with wood in their fireplace. And this is Alister's workshop. He's fabulous technically. He can rebuild anything. Wow. Wow. And this is where that online shopping happens. I've looked at 6 months of their finances and at their interview tapes, and it seems like Fiona's taken on all the responsibility for managing the money, and they're still falling behind. So one of the things I've noticed about you, Fiona, is that you feel like you have lost control of the money.
Yes.
You're way overspending in some categories.
Yeah.
And your debt and even your banking charges are way out of control. And when I see you, Alister, what I see is someone who may not be all that great with the details around money, but your contribution you make to the family is enormous.
He does so much around here. This house is going to be what it will be one day if we get to keep it, but because of his abilities.
Sometimes when people buy their first home, they have a lot of trouble changing their spending habits to accommodate their new debt load. That's what happened to Alister and Fiona, and I have the details to prove it. So the first thing I want you to have a look at is this. If you have transportation costs of $1,700 a month, that represents 30% of your income. It's astounding.
How can we be spending that much money on transportation?
I'm glad you asked. Gas and oil, parking. You spend like almost $400 a month in an automotive store. And then there's the cost of the car itself, and the licensing cost, and the insurance. It adds up. When you live in the country, public transportation isn't an option. But Alister and Fiona have 3 trucks and a car. Alister bought the little white truck because he couldn't afford to put gas in Big Red. And your debt repayment costs? 32% of your income. Can you see how we're running into a problem here? 60% of your money is gone. We also have a little problem with clothing. We're spending about $650 a month on clothes. And I bet that's all you, Alister.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to point out to you, Miss Fiona, a little something that I noticed on a credit card. On September 14th, you went shopping online. You did it twice on the 14th. You did it again on the 17th, on the 22nd, on the 23rd, and on the 1st of the following month. for a total of $823.70 in less than a month.
I'll go online and I'll think, oh, I need this or I need that, and it makes me feel better.
We're spending $1,200 a month on stuff. That's a variety of stores to which you go to buy a variety of things. And you're spending $2,200 a month in cash, which means we can't track it.
Wow.
You thought you were spending $4,400 a month. When I did the numbers up, you were actually spending $10,000 a month.
I don't know. How could that possibly be possible?
Credit. You stay on this track, and in 5 years, you're going to be $700,000 in debt. I can show you a way out of this.
Okay.
Baby's coming,
Yes.
and we can't afford to have this house of cards that's going to fall down.
Right.
Okay? I need your commitment that you're prepared to do the things that I'm going to ask you to do.
Fully prepared.
100%.
One of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to live on cash.
Good.
The second thing I'm going to do is give you a series of challenges to do. And if you do those challenges, I will give you up to $5,000.
Nice.
Now I need you to go and get me your credit cards and your debit cards. Go. Coming up, will Alister take my tough medicine when it comes to his favorite toy? It's just a lawn ornament at this point. Alister and Fiona have accumulated a crippling $110,000 in debt in just 2 years, not including their mortgage. You thought you were spending $4,400 a month. You were actually spending $10,000 a month.
I still wanted to live the way that I had lived prior to buying the house. So you start using your credit cards.
One of their big problems is they're not working together on their finances.
We have actually separate bank accounts.
But they're expecting their first baby in 5 months, and they're just not ready for it financially. To fix this mess, they're going to have to live by my rules. For the next month, this couple will learn to live on a strict cash budget. No more credit cards. They'll complete weekly challenges to tackle their money and relationship issues. And if they're willing to change, I'll reward them with thousands of dollars. No changes, no money. What we'll do is we will take your debit cards away from you so that you cannot use them except for withdrawals, because you're going to be living on cash.
Okay.
And we're going to lose the credit cards completely.
Okay.
So you guys wait here, and I'm going to stash these cards where you're never going to find them. We're going to put these where they can't cause any heat. Done. I've created a budget for you, and the budget's made up really of 2 parts. There are your fixed expenses, your mortgage payment, your car payment.
Yes.
There are your variable expenses, and these are the ones that we can fool around with.
Okay.
As long as you recognize that the only thing that cannot change in the budget is the bottom line.
Okay.
So you have $130 a week for groceries,
Okay.
$137.50 a week for transportation, $12.50 a week for clothes. Yeah, go shopping with that. And you have a jar most people don't have. You have a baby jar.
Okay.
And $50 a week will go into your baby jar because there will be things you will want to do between now and when the baby's born. So you have to have a budget for it. Because you're living on cash, one of the things that's so important is that you write it down.
Okay.
So we have for you here the handy dandy budget binder. You write down exactly what you spend from each jar every time you spend money. Now, I have cut your variable spending by 76%. You now will be spending just over $1,400 a month.
What she's limited us to for weekly spending is going to be tough.
Coming to grips with your finances means figuring out what you can't afford. Like Alistair's big truck. It's become so expensive for him to drive, he just leaves it sitting on the front lawn. It's time for your challenge for the week, and actually for the rest of the month. You, Mr. Alister, have to figure out a way to get your transportation costs under control. You might have to carpool. You might have to find a cheaper means of transportation. You might have to sell that big, whopping monster vehicle that's taking up so much space in the driveway right now, but you can't afford to drive because that gas, where it is, it's just a lawn ornament at this point. Okay? It's not actually serving a useful purpose. So Fiona, while Alister works on the transportation budget, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to create a visual aid that will help him to see how much he has to spend each week.
Okay. It's been really frustrating for me because I can't get it across to Alister how we need to work together. That in itself, you know, becomes trying on a relationship.
So internet.
$84 a month for the house insurance. The first payment of the month, that's $212.
Oh, I see.
I wanted to talk to you too about possibly maybe having like a joint account. It's just easier to get our bills paid when we're working together.
I'm okay with the joint account.
Agreeing to the joint account is a major step for Alister in terms of giving up a little of his independence. But the possibility of having to sell his prized truck makes his challenge gut-wrenching.
I love it. You gotta weigh out the smile factor. I can smile all the way to work.
He's invested a huge amount of time and money on his toy, including more than $10,000 in upgrades.
It's a really big decision.
Can we talk to the bank? Maybe they want to lower the payments, or...
We've got more than just our
Yeah, I know.
car payments.
It's fuel. I'm driving all over the place. The truck's got to go because there's no other way that...
I don't know how else we'd be able to cut costs.
The reality is slowly sinking in. The big red truck is a luxury they just can't afford.
It's time to pay the piper, I guess.
I'm back and I want to hear all about your week. Show me.
I came up with this chart and I actually had Alister fill it in because by the time we got through it, he had a much better understanding of where we were going.
All right, so tell me how you did with your challenge.
Good. Or advertised it on the internet.
Okay, so you reconciled yourself to selling Big Red.
Yes.
Okay, and how do you feel about all that now?
Horrible. I'm feeling really sad. It kind of represents me.
It's not easy to give up something you love, but sometimes it's necessary, especially when you're planning for a new baby. Now, I have brought you to the basement for a very good reason. You need to make space upstairs for baby, which means you're going to have to bring some of the stuff that's up there down here. We're going to make the baby the focus of this challenge. You're living on a pretty tight budget right now, so you can't just go out and buy a bunch of stuff.
Right.
So you have to get your friends and your family involved, come up with a list, figure out who you can get what from,
Right.
and figure out then what you're going to have to buy. Which brings me to you, Alister. Your job this week is you have to find an extra $500. Building engines, tuning bikes, doing whatever you have to do to get the extra $500, which will be the cash that goes into the baby jar to buy the things that you can't scrounge. I can't believe my ears when I hear what Alister's done. Bite me.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Alister and Fiona were shocked to find they were spending almost $6,000 a month more than they thought.
How could that be possible?
Credit. I put them on a strict cash budget and slashed their variable spending by 76%. With a baby on the way, sacrifices need to be made, like Fiona's emotional clothes buying.
$12.50 a week for clothing is going to be tough.
And Alister's giving up his gas-guzzling truck.
I'm feeling really sad. Part of me was hoping that no one would call.
I've challenged Fiona to find out what baby items could be donated by friends and family. And for Alister to make an extra $500 to buy the rest of what baby needs. If they can complete all my challenges, I'll give them up to $5,000. I love anything with maple syrup these days.
Everybody's being really good about it and saying they have things. So I think coming up with that list is a fantastic idea. You wanted to contribute with the crib, right?
Yes, I'd like to give the crib, yes.
It's got like toys all around and the baby sits in it.
And I also have bottles that I can Ledge with the breast pump.
Okay.
And I could also make the baby blankets.
Wendy, very nice.
This is what teamwork is all about, right?
And if it's written down, so you actually see it written down and who's
Yes.
doing what, and
Yes.
Really, it's amazing how it's all come together.
True to his nature, Alister was more interested in fuel pumps than breast pumps. He's earning extra money in his workshop, but will it be enough to meet his challenge?
So Fiona and Alister, I want to hear all about this week and how you did.
I had some girlfriends over and we went through a list of things that we would need for the baby's room.
Right.
And it turned out fantastic. And actually, some of the girls that were there said they wished that they had done that.
So while the hens were all clucking, what was the rooster doing? Did you make any money?
A little.
Yeah, you were supposed to come up with, let me think now, $500? Mm-hmm. How'd you do?
It's close to 1,700.
Bite me. How did you come up with $1,700?
Working in the garage, put in some overtime, sold some stuff.
Oh, Alister.
With the extra money, they'll be able to afford what they need for the baby without turning to their credit cards. And that brings me to my next challenge.
You have a big fat debt you still have to deal with. What I want you to do is I want you to go and find out whether you can consolidate that debt on your existing mortgage. It's better than the way it is right now in terms of having to manage many different payments and pretty high interest rates.
Having money problems while you're having your first baby can lead to a relationship disaster. By consolidating their debt on their mortgage, they lower their monthly payment. That takes the pressure off their cash flow and reduces the stress. I also wanted to help them get comfortable being around a newborn, so I sent them a special surprise, delivered by Nanny Rubina, a childcare expert featured on The Mom Show.
I guess you guys thought that I was going to come with a baby doll, didn't you? No, this is the real McCoy. There she is. So there's Molly. Put your arm over here. There we go. Right.
There we go.
And hold the bottle up. Okay.
I don't want to hurt her.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to show you.
You show me.
I'd like to see you put Molly's diaper on now. Come on.
I don't want...
It is not that hard.
Coming up, I'm just full of surprises.
Open your eyes.
Holy cow.
Alister and Fiona are expecting their first baby, but the experience is being clouded by their growing debt.
You stay on this track, and in 5 years, you're going to be $700,000 in debt.
Having a baby in the house is stressful enough, but then to think, oh my God, where am I going to get $10 to buy diapers?
Over the past month, I've given them challenges to bring their spending under control.
For us to make the challenge, I have to get rid of the truck.
Their latest challenge is to consolidate their debt with their mortgage to make their monthly payments more manageable. If they can complete all my challenges, I'll give them up to $5,000.
I was really nervous about going in, but they were great. We went over the figures. We're going to talk about a couple different options, and I feel a lot better walking out of here.
I hear you had a visitor.
We did. We had a little 3-week-old baby,
Molly.
Molly.
So what did you learn, Alister?
Feed her with a bottle,
Yes,
wash her in the bathtub, change a
Right.
diaper.
right? Did he have all the fun, or did you have any fun?
Actually, I had fun watching.
How did you do when you went to the bank?
The gentleman there was fantastic. He
Good.
went over everything. He said the only thing you need to be embarrassed about is if you don't ask for help.
Good boy.
Yeah. So we actually started focusing more on was it blend and extend?
Yes.
With a blend and extend, you may avoid refinancing charges. You blend the new amount you want to borrow with the old amount on the mortgage, extend the term, and have a blend of interest rates.
All right, now down to business. The important business of the day. When I got here, guys, you were spending $6,000 a month more than you made. And you were headed for $700,000 worth of debt in 5 years. It was pretty scary.
Yeah.
In the past month, this couple has learned to work together on their finances and bring their spending under control. Even better, when I redid their budget, they started putting away $450 a month in savings. If you take that money, you put in an RSP, by the time this baby is ready to go to university, 20 years from now, you will have $330,000 in the bank.
Wow.
You've done a good job. You've faced some hard things, got great help, you have wonderful prospects, a great future, and I have for you $5,000.
Nice.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
Week after week, things got better. Now we're at a place where it looks like we're gonna be able to manage our debt.
I want you to do something for me.
Yes.
I want you to close your eyes. I want you to imagine the baby. A little bit fussy. Now, how are you going to rock that baby back to sleep? Open your eyes.
Holy cow.
Oh, that is beautiful. It's amazing feeling now to be able to look forward and think positively about it and think, oh my God, one day we'll be able to afford to go out for dinner.
Alister, I need that spine for later, okay?
Oh, that's how I
Thank you so much.
Sweetie pie.